What's up everyone, Beat the Boss here. We've got another episode of Captain of Industry. In our last episode we were having quite a fuel shortage, as well as we did start getting oil from realising that we can go around this island. There's currently a vehicle travelling that path right now. And we're also trying to cut out a bit of this mountain so we can access the oil a lot quicker instead of having to drive all the way around, because that's what they're doing currently, and I don't want that because it takes a very long time for our oil to get over here. At the moment I do have 8 trucks just trying to deliver the oil because there's so much demand for it. But our fuel crisis should come to a halt now, and with that we should be able to not worry so much about this. We're still going to have to until this gets built and until we finish mining out our island here, which they are slowly doing, so it'll speed up time, get them moving a little bit quicker through this area, which they're slowly mining away. And we'll also, not that one but this one here, we will get them to clear this and dump there as well, just to fix that up. And they are also going to dump there, which is beautiful, and I'll change that around as well and fix all that up, since we recently unlocked our new leveling designation. So now they're still slowly working. They just started clearing out that little mound there. I think over here we don't actually have that hump anymore. No, they've already cleared that. That is beautiful. I would prefer to make a shortcut straight through the mountain here along the ground, but I'm worried if I'm too close to here that it would actually knock this down, and so far that is the only route that they can get up. And our next plan of attack would be to get into here so we can start making some better concrete, because at the moment we are requiring limestone and coal and water, and at the moment we have got very minimal water, so we are trying to work with the best thing we've got. We do also have a water tower somewhere over here. It's in here, I believe. There it is. We have a little groundwater pump here, pumping water out of the ground for us into a storage, which we do have some trucks heading back and forth collecting water for when we need it. Now we do also have a goal here. We can collect that. That'll give us a bit of fuel and concrete. We still need to make this rubber maker, but I'm not quite ready to make that yet because we haven't got that much fuel moving around. And what we will do as well is we'll actually destroy that. Because we don't need that anymore. We'll have a look. We still have a lot of coal here. We don't have to worry about that. That is a very large vein of coal there, as well as up here. These are both very large coal, very large iron and copper, as well as a lot of rock here that when we can take this mountain down and level this out and then slowly level it down to our level here, because I will want to be trying to build this for when we start moving forwards. This excavator here is almost free, but they are slowly excavating it away, and we do have it slightly planned out here, and I will set up some more planning here for this, and we will say you're going to cut into the mountain here, and then we'll come out here a bit more, and we will keep leveling across here. We'll come across here again, it's going to be a very zigzag sort of build here, because we can't afford to build a bridge anytime soon. So we'll move over a bit. We'll keep moving over until we also have a little bit of a dumping zone here. But I want to also be mining so we can collect the resources to be able to dump along here. We'll clear that one. We'll also clear that one there. And we are nowhere near where we need to be at all. Okay, so we'll set up over here. We'll get them to flatten all this out. Very nice. We're going to flatten that out, and then we will flatten that part out there, and we will actually start getting it to go down to our level, which is level 3. This is going to take a long time to just build that, so a bit of planning goes a long way with it all. We'll bring that straight out to here, so they're going to keep mining that. We'll go a little bit more. Now there will be a lot of rocks, so we can probably end up flattening this out quite a bit, and we will still slowly mine into the mountain here, very lightly. I'll just add a couple more spots there. And there we go. So that's our little route, and that will slowly get made. They'll work on this, they'll slowly chop away all this, so we might actually just, for the sake of it, to get it ready, is we might just why isn't that one incorporate? Because that's actually elevated, so we can get rid of that. And if we actually line it up with this, this will give us a better chance at lining all of this stuff up here. There we go. And we will actually come over it a little bit more, like so, and that will come off level, so they will build that slowly once we start expanding our spots here. We are making a solid effort through this mountain. We have started our ramp. There is still a long way to go, and we are back to having no fuel again, so we might just buy a bit of fuel real quick. And so now we're stocked up with fuel. They'll move that around to place it needs to. The fuel station will get fuel hopefully first. We also need to start making some copper, but we don't need copper just yet. Well, actually, I've only just had a look here. We have gotten extremely low with our copper. We do have our boat out here that does have a bit of copper, so we'll do a little bit more exploration. And we've already loaded up our bits or our construction parts level 2 to actually build or repair that oil rig. So when our boat gets back, we will send that out to go and repair that rig. We do have a good supply of iron, plenty of it. We aren't running out anytime soon. This storage is full. It's got 200, and we've also got 200 in here. So we do have a plentiful amount of iron. We're back up to 225 now, as well as more iron there. Our ship should be heading back automatically, which it is, and we've also discovered a town. We could use some of our construction parts level 2 to get some fuel, which I'm going to use. It is going to cost us a bit of unity, but we are generating that fairly quickly. So now we have over 200 litres at the moment, and they're just going to top everything up. We're also going to move our fuel station so we're not having two separate storages around here. So we'll put this one, how are we going to do this? So they're going to be cleared up. I think I've finished all the research for level 1, yep. So we can actually demolish these. We'll get some construction parts back for them. They will get demolished. Now I'll go store that, and then we can set up our fuel station here. I want to leave a bit of space there so I can actually connect other pipes off this when we need to. So we'll connect our pipe up to that, and we will unpause those to be built. We will add 2 trucks to that, and we will demolish these two parts here. So we'll get some construction parts 1 and 2 back for that to build that. And we should have some fuel going into here now, which it is, but we also got our 2 trucks filling up as well. So now you can see it's starting to build up, starting to pull fuel out of there. Our boat has been loaded with fuel, so we will send it on its way to drop those parts off. Alright, our trash mountain is getting full, and can we burn that stuff? We cannot yet. Once we can burn that, it will be better for us because we can get rid of it straight away. We do get a bit of air pollution, but that is not as bad as our landfill pollution at the moment. So our air pollution is only 0.6, now landfill pollution is 1.1, and that's how much unity we're losing every 60 seconds, which is not good for when we're trying to build our stuff up. So we can, for our people, make a... we can't actually. We haven't unlocked it yet in the research. So we'll leave that there. We will build a automatic system for this stuff to flush it out. So we'll try and go in line with that as high as we can, that way trucks can still go through there, and then we'll bring it down onto there like so. And we'll get that being built. Once that's built, then we don't need trucks to unload this, it will automatically do it by itself through the pipe. And as you can see, it's now starting to go down. As it goes through this pipe, it will slowly fill up, and now it will start dumping it out. We will possibly get water pollution here very shortly, which will affect us, but we can't really do anything about that until later down the track once we've done a bit of research to help with recycling. Now this is a bit low on coal, so what we'll do, we'll say keep this half full. We want this to always be full. There's trucks on the way. And with our research, we should be able to get some steam which will help with power, as well as boats. We should be able to get some boats, and we can also start unlocking some trains as well. Once we unlock trains, it will make it a lot quicker to get oil over here, and we can set up a train route through here to get our oil over there. It'll be a short trip, but we can maximize our efficiency instead of using our trucks to deliver. So we should have a few trucks pulling in here very shortly. Here they come. That's not one, that is one there though. That's groundwater, sorry. That's another groundwater. Where are these oil trucks? Here we go. They're starting to pull around now. No, that's another groundwater. That's an oil. So we've got our oil truck heading along. And the amount of detail that you can actually see now what they're holding. So you can see that it says water on it. If we come over to the other one, you can actually see that it says oil. It's very hard to see when it's in the shadow like that, but when you're on the side of the sun, you can actually see that it has the oil symbol on there. Now these are only very low capacity trucks until we can actually upgrade our hub here, our vehicle manufacturing hub, to start making some more. As a matter of fact, we might get 4 more excavators and 4 more trucks, and that way we can start hitting that iron a bit harder, as well as adding a few more onto our excavation site here for our train to go along and our pipes as well. So we'll look at starting our research here, which is not that one, it is in this one here. So we need 60 construction parts level 2, and we need to start making some lab equipment. So to make that stuff, where is that book? I did have a book somewhere. So if we search lab, okay, it's not going to work. Be in this one here. No. It's one of these. Give me a sec, I will find it. Okay, so I've just sorted it out. So we have a look here, we can go lab equipment. And for that we need some mechanical parts as well as some electronics, and we get 12. So we can definitely sort that out. Once we get our copper up, because at the moment we are starting to run pretty low on our copper. Since this ship is here, we'll get it to explore out here. And we'll actually turn this on so we can start gradually getting us some oil. So we get 60 oil every 60 seconds. Our current facility needs 80 oil every 60 seconds. Oh no, sorry, it needs 60. And then once we get that, and once we start unlocking some more oil production, we can start refining a bit more, efficient, as I should say. So what we'll do is we will also expand this area. Oh, I don't want to move the whole thing. I just want to move this one part here and move this over a bit, and then add a couple of dots onto that to bring that there. We'll add a dot up here to stop that from moving around when it wants to. So then what we'll do is we'll add a second dot here, and that will allow me to expand that way a bit, and that now covers that whole spot there as they start mining that, and that will allow them to start actually moving around here. So they are slowly dumping into these spots here that I've designated for them, and our ship has arrived back. There we go, so it's just pulled in the dock. It will unload our copper that we have, as well as they've found a bit of scrap for us, some vehicle parts, as well as some rubber. We aren't getting too low on rubber at all. We do have plenty of rubber there. The fuel situation, though, on the other hand, is still pretty bad. So have we got some other options for fuel? No, so it seems like we can still sell our coal for fuel as well as some construction parts level 2. So we will do that just to get a bit of fuel going and a bit of fuel moving around. They will go ahead and top that up for us, and that will leave our cargo bay empty. And that will start filling up our fuel station again. But this oil situation is pretty bad. We have got a bit further in here. It is starting, we'll find a spot here that it will start mining this out a lot quicker as it gets higher. And we will add some more trucks onto there as well as over here we will add we'll add 2 more excavators as well as 2 trucks to keep it even. And they will keep dropping dirt and other resources here. We'll get them to clear up that spot there as well. And they've gone pretty quick with expanding this section here. And we've got a couple of excavators over here, as well as some finishing up over here. And then we've got our trucks moving straight forwards and already creating a flat spot for us. So a lot of this will get done pretty quick. There won't be too much issue with that at all. So we'll clear that. We'll leave that open. And we will leave that one there open as well. We'll actually get them to just clear out a bit of the rest of that rubble there, as well as that spot and these spots here. We might just get them to dump all there just to keep that looking a bit nicer. Now I will be planning to get this all fixed up so it is nice and square along here, so we can get our train through here eventually. But we'll just be using pipes first off just to get the resources over here at the moment. So I will speed up a bit of time here until we've gotten somewhere a bit more efficient, and I will get back to you then. So we're slowly getting somewhere. We now have a lot of issues happening with no copper, as well as having no fuel and no rubber. That is because for rubber, we need to be using fuel, and I don't really want to be using fuel to make it at the moment, seeing that I have no fuel. So I've pretty much just been constantly going back and forth, buying a bit of fuel. We can't afford to buy any copper at the moment, but we also do need some bricks to keep our production going for our plates, and then that way when we have some plates we can buy 40 copper. Now we don't really have an issue with running out of copper. Well, we just did then actually. We didn't, believe it or not, 2 minutes ago, and now we do. And that's our issue with our maintenance, with vehicles being broken because we have no maintenance. So yeah, this is going downhill very quick for now. But we are slowly expanding this road here for our fuel. But I'm almost half tempted to make something over here just to make fuel for now. As well as we also do need some copper, but we need our copper first. So before we do that, we've got copper coming in with a bit of scrap. The first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take 2 excavators away from here, and we're going to set this up as copper ore. We'll have that to sort in here, and then what I'm actually going to set up here is we're going to have a split on here. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of these 2 here. We'll let that do its thing really quick, which it has, and then what we will do is we will get ourselves a U-shaped sorter. We'll flip that. We can chuck that there. We'll just quickly build that, set it for copper ore, and we will put a second, we'll put a second one here, but this is going to be for the copper ore to come through. We'll unpause that and let that build it. And then what we will do as well is we'll come up here, and probably the best way to start getting copper extremely quick is we will place a mine tower just here, and it's going to have that area there. We should be able to see how they're going to travel, but we'll just add 2 excavators, 2 trucks onto this for now, and we will just get it to start mining, say into here where the copper is the most purest. Once we get through a little bit of that rock and stuff there. But they should be able to travel up that. I don't see why they can't. They will start mining our copper ore, and then what we will need is another system here for our copper. So we'll make it nice and close on this side here. We will chuck it, and we will go that there to make copper as well as take copper scrap. But we'll drag the copper scrap up first because that's what we want, and eventually we will work this system out a lot better, where we will be a lot more efficient. But while we're starting, we don't really have a choice. So we'll chuck that there. We'll let the trucks automatically empty the slag out of it, and we get 24 molten copper. So then we'll get ourselves 2 metal casters here, enough room for trucks to still go down, as well as connecting these up like so. And then we need a what they call a copper electronis, which we need 24 of these copper plates, which we will chuck here. We will then set up our conveyor belts for here, and we also need water. So what we will do is we will set up a fluid tank on this side with a pipe going up and over, and we'll set this to water and to constantly top up. So for now we can unpause all of that, and that will get built. That's going to require 60. We have 61, and everything else here is going to be pretty expensive. So there's another 60 between those two, and that's 30. So there's 90 there as well as 30 there. So there's 120. Well, those two there are 100. Those 3 there are 120, and then 2 more here is 160, 180. Sorry. As well as these getting built, which we need rubber for. And can we purchase rubber? We can for 40. I don't want to do that just yet, so we can let it manually. Take it out for now, and start pulling that stuff out. We are losing power. That is because we have no maintenance, which is because we have no copper. So what we can do is nothing at the moment because they've taken all of our good bits that we need. We're going to unboost this, and we're going to boost this, and we have concrete. We have enough concrete for this. Can we upgrade it to a level 2? Yes, we can. We will just use a bit of Unity on that just to get it built quicker. And now we've produced 24 at a time, which is a lot better. We will have to watch our concrete. We have already built a metal caster. Second metal caster is almost done. It is being finished now. They've also finished our system for our iron and coal, but what we might actually do is we are going to have to change this, so we can't really have that like that because that's going to be a big issue. what we can do is change that around and actually change rock to come out of here. We can clear that and change that to copper ore and let copper go straight. Let copper ore go straight into there, as well as rebuild that one, which we do need that bit of rubber for, so we might just spend 40 plates if we can build it up onto that. What else? We can also use wood to get a bit of iron scrap, which we don't need, but we will need some more concrete. Now our iron production has slowed down, so what we'll do is we'll just boost this again real quick just to get our iron moving until we build a second one of those. You'll see up here a lot of vehicles are starting to break down, as well as machines, and that is because we do not have enough maintenance. And there goes our power source. So all of our machines have just died, which is not good at all, which means also all of our belts have died as well, because they need power. Also having no fuel whatsoever here is pretty bad. So what I'll do is I'll call it an episode here. We will come back to this. I might even play just a little bit in between episodes, just so we can get this situation sorted, and I will show you guys how I've done it and worked around it. But with all that, hope you've enjoyed. If you like what you're seeing, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as well as hitting that notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. But with all that out of the way, thank you and have a good one.